Hello pretties, welcome to Vevserial. So we are up close and personal. I don't have any makeup on. I'm not gonna do a full face of makeup. I really just want to play with this palette right here, which is the Patrick Ta Major Dimensions 3. And the reason I'm trying to play with this palette is because if you guys don't know, you guys haven't been in my channel before, this is your first time here, I am in makeup Nobody in 2025. And I'm extremely tempted by the Natasha Denona Sculpt palette, the new one she just came out. And I want it really bad. However, I just feel like I can't in good conscience get that palette when I own this one, you know? Like they're just too similar. Now, a couple of differences, pretty straightforward. The first one is that this one is an all powder palette, while that one is a silky matte and the cream matte formula, which is like powdery adjacent. It's not quite powdery, not really. And honestly, I've watched a lot of YouTube tutorials of that palette, but none of them tempted me as much as the Patti Alonso, where she did 6 looks with one palette, with a little one, and she did them all like gradual incrementation of pigment. She went with the lightest shade and then darker and darker, and it was absolutely genius. And I liked it so much that this is what we're doing today. We are actually trying to recreate all 6 of her looks with the palette, because in my head, if I can recreate all 6 looks with this palette from her video, then I really do not need that palette. And yeah, this is a bit of a bonus video. I'm not really sure when I'm gonna post this, but I really just wanted to play with the palette and see if I can do it. So the first look, this is it. Actually, this was it. She called it Barely There, which was just like the lighter shade, and then the lighter shade in the inner corner. Oh, actually in the brow bone too, which I didn't do that. And the lightest shade in the outer corner, and it was just like barely there kind of situation, right? Now, this is the thing. This Patrick Ta are are darker or more pigmented than the one from Natasha Denona, and I know that because I watched the Angela Bright video where she was comparing both this one and the Natasha Denona palette, and they were significantly more pigmented. In fact, she said that the second shade, this one, which is the one that I'm currently using, she said this second shade was actually closer to the third shade from the Natasha Denona, which I'm sure I have the Natasha Denona palette posted somewhere. She said that it was closer to that shade than to this one, to the second shade. Oh god, I'm confusing myself now. So I'm trying to be very light-handed with how I'm doing this, because I don't want to add too much pigment. Oh, hold on. Actually, before I do that, this is actually my second time trying to film this. I tried to film this video yesterday, but for whatever reason, my camera was just not cooperating. It would not turn on. I guess the battery kind of got out of place. It kind of came out of place. I don't know how else to say that. And because of that, we couldn't really, well, not we, but I couldn't really turn on the camera. It was just like the darnest thing, and it wouldn't charge either. It was so strange. But then finally, my boyfriend was able to like mess with it and somehow figured it out, like place the battery back where, don't put your face in my eyeshadow palette, please don't. No. Stay away from that, stay away from that, stay away from that. Gaia, stop, mama. And he was able to figure out, and I was able to get the battery finally to charge, and it turned on again. So yeah, that's what happened. And then this is look number 2. She just went with the second deepest, or the third shade, to go add a little more depth. And I think it's a little bit different from last time. It's just a little bit more there. This one, she called it the you tried. Like you didn't put a lot of effort, but you tried look, or something along those lines. Can't remember now. But she had like really fun names for them. Now, the other thing that I'm gonna have to do with this palette is, because the 4th shade is actually a warm tone versus a cool tone, so I've been using the bottom row this entire time, but I'm actually gonna go up to this shade right here, which is actually probably the least used shade in this palette for me. So, you know, that tells you something. And we're actually gonna add a little bit more. It was just a very, oh man, Patty is so good at just like creating eye looks, to be honest. Like, it was just like the progression of it, it was so smooth, and it just went from one look into the next one so well. So yes, anyway, here we are, we're just adding that warmth, and honestly, it just looks gorgeous. Oh my god, it looks so good. It was just genius, absolutely genius. I really want to recreate another one of her videos, or not her whole video, but one specific eye look from her I Need a Nude palette. She did a 5 looks 1 palette with it, and she does a 5 looks 1 palette with a lot of palettes. She's one of the YouTubers that I really like to watch for inspiration, and I've tried to recreate some of her videos or looks before. I just never posted them. This is my first time recreating one of hers, but again, genius, absolutely genius the way she did it. And I think this one's more pigmented than this side. I don't know how we did that. If you're wondering what I'm tapping against, I went to a pottery class, like a beginner's class, and we made this little thing. It was really oddly shaped. It was supposed to be like a salsa bowl, but it's too small and it's awkward, and so I decided to just make it my tap into bowl, I guess. I don't know. But it was fun. Never done pottery before, and probably never will again. But here we are. This is look number 3. I'm just gonna blend the edges a little bit more, and bam, really nice. Okay, the 4th look is essentially just that same shade and just adding it in the inner corner and making a bit of a halo eye. So that's what we are going. Damn, Gaia, you're all up on my business. All in my business, mamacita. She's gorgeous. I don't know how well you guys can see her, but she's absolutely gorgeous. The problem is that she knows how pretty she is, and she gets away with bloody murder in this household. Not as bad as Athena. Athena can literally kill someone right in front of everybody and will still say at the witness stand, I don't know what you're talking about. But Gaia is pretty bad herself. Alright, and this is pretty straightforward. Oh right, I was talking about the look from Patti Tap, and specifically her 3rd look, if I'm not mistaken, she did more like an editorial look, and it was just so gorgeous, but she did it so simple that I'm like, I feel like I can do it. I feel like I can recreate it. I haven't taken the time to do it. But I mean, I actually own that palette, so it would be easier to try to recreate that than what I'm currently doing, although this is pretty straightforward. And I do really love a matte look, so this is really right up my alley. All right, and then I just gotta put that cream shade back in the middle just to add that halo effect. Then just blending it out. I'm not doing the lower lash line. She did do the lower lash line in her video, but honestly, I just wanted to play with it and see if I could actually do all 6 looks. Because yesterday when I was trying to film this, I got up to 3, and I was like, okay, that's just as far as we're gonna go, because I was trying to use my old camera and it just gave up on me like halfway through the look. And I feel like I need to bring that up a little bit higher, but at the same time I know what the next look is, so I don't want to spend too much time on this. So we're just not going to spend too much time on this because this is look number 4. That's it. Pretty straightforward. All right. Look number 5 is so easy. That same warm brown, and then we're just covering it all up, which is why I was like, I really just don't want to spend too much time on that halo eye because we're just gonna cover it all right up. And I mean, I do love a brown smoky eye. Like, I really, really love a brown smoky eye. I know that in her 6th look, she's gonna just like smoke the outer corner, but I'm gonna make a slight adjustment to that look. Like, I do want to do that, but I also want to add a little bit of like a smoked out wing instead. And you'll see what I mean. Okay, that's pretty much it. Pretty straightforward. This is look number 5, although I think I need a little bit more pigment right over here. Yep. That works. All right, so look number 5. Now, in her look for look number 6, she just grabs the black and she puts it in the outer corner and just smokes it out, essentially what she did for look 1, 2, and 3. But I want to do something different, and I want to grab, and I just want to do a secondary eyeliner. Okay, I can't quite talk for this part, guys, so I'm just gonna do this real quick and then just come right back. Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to do this eye look off camera to make sure that I was like good. In retrospect, I should have done this eye on camera and then done this one off camera, because this is my harder eye to do on camera. I don't know how I'm gonna keep moving this to try to make this work, but I'm just stamping it in the lower lash line to create a wing, or the appearance of a wing liner, and pretty straightforward. So this is, like I said, it is different from her look. Her 6th look, I did say it's like doing it in the outer corner, and then she said technically you could keep that going, right, and redo. Move your face that way, please. Okay, now the actual wing. My wings never match, but that's okay. I'm just here for the fun of it. But she said you could create 2 more looks, 7 and 8, and essentially just recreate what she did with the with the brown, and do a halo eye with the brown all over and the black, and then do an all black smoky eye, which I'm not doing today. But again, I just wanted to. Okay, sorry guys, I'm legally blind, so I'm gonna have to kind of get in the way, and the camera's a little too close for this look, but here we are. Okay, yeah, this one's actually lifted, and then this one's just kind of like dragged straight out. So like I said, not my forte. I should have come a little higher right over here. And I mean, technically if I was actually like doing this as an eye look, I could just fix it with my concealer, but I'm not doing that. I just wanted to see if I could recreate all of the eye looks, and I feel like I can. So I don't need I need a Sculpt palette, even though I really want it. I wanted it really bad. Let me push you guys out a little bit and not be so up close. It's a little bit better, but I want that palette. I want that palette so bad. But you know what? At the end of the day, this is the real tea, right? Is that I do own this palette, and it has all of this cool tones right, or not cool tones, but neutrals right here in a progression. I have all these warm tones right here in a progression. I don't need that little palette. Additionally to having that, I do have a bunch of, just a lot of neutrals, like oh my goodness. I have this one. This one's a bit more neutral, warm tones. Actually, I'm pretty confident that if I were to try to swatch that palette, I could probably do that with this palette right here, if I'm being honest. I have so many neutrals. Here's my Identity palette. Honestly, if I'm really looking at it, I feel like I need a warm. It has that gradients as well, and even the Golden palette has a bit of that gradients as well. It just doesn't have the black, and neither does the Natasha Denona and the warm. But I honestly feel like if I wanted to recreate that palette with actual Natasha Denona shadows, I absolutely could. Also have a pimple that's been kind of on and off for the last 3 weeks, but won't turn white for me to actually put a pimple patch on it and just get the mother effer out. That's frustrating. Even this little one, I feel like, except for like the darker shades, I feel like we have 1, 2, 3. I feel like we're almost there. I don't know, I just feel like I have a lot of these kinds of like gradients in my collection. And this is a reminder as to why I'm in a no buy. I don't need to buy every little palette that comes my way. because they're cute and adorable and you really like the concept and you saw a video that showcased it beautifully. I also don't want to, because I do have, I'm in a nobody, but I do allow myself to get gifts from specifically my boyfriend and my sister, and I have 8 possibilities of getting gifts, and I don't want to waste one of my gifts on a little $27 palette, although gorgeous, when I also own literally the exact same concept, if anything expanded, in one of my favorite formulas right here. So if you were thinking about purchasing that one and you own this one, you don't need it. You definitely don't need it. And I just need to now convince myself that I don't need it. So if you want to leave me a comment letting me know how I don't need it, I would really appreciate it. But that's it. It's like I said, it's just a bonus video. I'm gonna throw it in sometime. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys!